Strategic analysis, coyote predation dynamics at the National Elk Refuge, assessing behavioral patterns and ecosystem disruptions. The National Elk Refuge, Wyoming, represents a complex and highly monitored ecosystem primarily driven by the annual migration of approximately 170,000 elk. However, the persistent presence of coyote populations, evidenced by photographic documentation spanning multiple years, introduces a critical layer of strategic analysis centered on predator-prey dynamics and potential disruptive influences on the broader elk population.
This initial assessment focuses on the temporal distribution of coyote sightings within the refuge, revealing a sustained and potentially escalating predatory pressure that warrants immediate investigation and proactive mitigation strategies. The photographic evidence, collected between January 2019 and February 2020, highlights a significant challenge to established conservation efforts.
Shifting ecosystem vulnerabilities, quantifying predatory risk and adaptive responses. The documented coyote activity at the National Elk Refuge, Wyoming, during February 2020. Specifically, the photographic record of multiple individual coyotes engaged in hunting behavior underscores a fundamental shift in the ecosystem's vulnerability. The consistent presence of these predators, despite established elk management protocols, indicates a demonstrable capacity for adaptation and exploitation of available resources.
The timing of the images, concentrated within a relatively short time frame, suggests a heightened level of predatory activity likely correlated with the elk's winter migration and diminished defensive capabilities, compounded by the specific photographic equipment utilized, a Fujifilm X-D3 with a 100-400 mm lens, providing undeniable visual confirmation of this dynamic. Further analysis of the photographic metadata, including shutter speed and aperture, could reveal valuable insights into coyote hunting techniques and prey selection.
Behavioral ecology and resource competition, decoding predatory strategies and ecosystem pressures. The photographic record presents a compelling argument for a refined understanding of coyote behavioral ecology within the National Elk Refuge environment. The observed pouncing behavior, coupled with the consistent documentation of coyote sightings across multiple years, suggests a highly adaptive predatory strategy, one that actively seeks out and exploits vulnerabilities within the elk herd.
The utilization of a long telephoto lens 400 mm by the photographer indicates a deliberate focus on documenting this predatory activity, further amplifying its significance as a strategic concern. The presence of coyotes alongside bull elk, as evidenced by the January 2020 images, demonstrates direct competition for resources, particularly during the vulnerable winter months, ultimately impacting elk population health and breeding success.
Strategic imperatives and future mitigation, forecasting ecosystem stability and implementing adaptive controls. The observed coyote predation at the National Elk Refuge, Wyoming, necessitates a proactive shift in conservation strategies, moving beyond traditional elk management models that fail to adequately account for the persistent threat posed by these adaptable predators. The data, captured through photographic analysis, reveals a critical feedback loop. Increased coyote presence directly impacts elk population stability, creating a dynamic requiring immediate intervention.
Future mitigation efforts must incorporate targeted coyote population control measures, potentially leveraging advanced tracking technologies and non-lethal deterrents, combined with rigorous monitoring of both coyote and elk populations, to proactively manage ecosystem vulnerabilities and ensure the long-term health and sustainability of this invaluable natural resource.